Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live today for the next 3 hours downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino here on New Year's Eve. Pauly, your favorite night of the entire year?
Yes. Can't wait.
I know you go out till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on the Strip every single year. You can't get enough of it.
Damn right, and I drink a lot.
Yeah. Brent Musburger on the program coming up in 15 minutes. We're going to go live to Phoenix in 2 hours. Pat 40.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this moment for 18 years. Boise finally gets their chance. I love this program. 40's not supposed to root for people, but he was at the game 18 years ago.
Did something during that game, that win against Oklahoma, that he has never done ever in his career. That was the only time it happened. He'll tell you about that coming up in 2 hours. And Derek Stevens, oh my God, the scenarios for the final week of Circa Survivor are loaded. That's in 2.5 hours here on the show.
Damn right. Good to have you back. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Hanging in?
Not too bad.
All right. A lot
Okay.
going on, baby.
I would say so. We have bowl games that are live in action right now. We have, how about the steam in some of these games?
Not even close.
So I'm looking at the VSiN Picks page today, trying to catch up. Got back last night, couple of days off. Took the little fella up to his third baby shower in San Francisco. My God, is that the end of it? Let's hope so. But I'm catching up on things, and I noticed that people were giving out bets on the Bama-Michigan game when it was 11.5. And I'm looking down today, I'm like, wait, what? Bama got steamed to 16.5 before kickoff?
Yeah.
And they lost outright, and it was vile and nasty for the first, 20 minutes of that game?
I got to talk to Shauna. Maybe I should slip one past the goalie. Sounds like a lot of fun. From all that up to 17.
It's the worst. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said in your entire life.
For all the way up to 17. Then you got a 7-point move on Baylor. They're down 14 points. The money appears to be right on Illinois. 11.5 down to 8.5. Fading the ACC's been profitable.
Yeah.
But this is just roll tide, baby. Again, this is awesome. The SEC, 100% hypotheticals. There's so much talent. Oh, the Vegas power rating. We need an odds maker on the committee. How do they leave the SEC out? They lost twice as a 17-point favorite, and they also lost as a 14-point favorite. Milroe couldn't complete a pass.
Milroe stock, by the way, is in the trash.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember, he was one of the short shots on the board in October to be the first pick in the NFL draft. Think about that. Does he even get drafted?
He was so bad. Michigan played it beautifully. Take away the run, make them throw. Couldn't do it. And then turnover. At one point, Michigan only had 2 first downs, and they were winning the game by double digits, right?
Yeah, right.
And they win. So you're right about the steam. Some of the stuff hasn't made sense. And unlike the NFL, at least the bookies are getting theirs here. Because a lot of this steam is weak, it's stale, it's not working out.
Very much so.
The opposite of the NFL, where all the favorites are cashing.
Yeah, no kidding. That is no joke whatsoever. Do you have a bet coming up on the Penn State-Boise State game? By the way, when the Godfather joins the program in about 12 minutes, he has an opinion on that, and he has an opinion on 3 other games that are involved in Jansanity.
Yep. I tailed Brad Powers and took the Penn State team total over. Now, as far as the game, it's tough. They've been great in this spot. I'm fascinated by I can't believe Genti's only 126.5 here. He's gone over that every game but one. He's got to get 35 carries tonight. I don't know what to make of Matson. If he can hold up, it should be a lot better than Jennings. But can Matson make plays, and can they get the tight end involved? I'm not sure where I fall with these Boise State wide receivers. I know this. They love playing the disrespect card. The moment won't be too big. They outplayed Oregon on the road. I'm ready for it. Let's get this done. Let's shock the world.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about, okay, if you take a couple of different, take the common opponent here and look at what Boise did against Oregon, and you're like, it was pretty good. Really good. He ran for like 190 yards.
Yes.
But when you flip it, Big Ten title game, Penn State ran for 8.7 yards per carry. Mm-hmm. And Oregon's defense had no answer whatsoever for the Penn State running game.
Yep.
So will Boise's defense have an answer for those 2 outstanding backs? And what about the tight end who won that award for best tight end in the country? Are they going to have an answer for him?
Yeah, his props.
Warren's awesome.
Warren's awesome. The running backs are great. They're top 5 against the run. That's what it's all about. And the guy, he needs 100. Also, why it's fascinating with the 126.5, he needs 132 yards to break Barry Sanders' record. So we also see history tonight as well. The first 2 playoff games will be how big of a mismatch is it in the trenches. Now, this is where it could be with Boise. Now, Boise's top 5 in the nation in sacks, but can they shut down the running game, and can they get the running game going? If you go back in the past, Those Kellen Moore teams were unbelievable. Those were top 4, top 5 teams in the country. They had a ton of NFL talent, and they were awesome in the trenches. I remember they went to Atlanta and dominated Aaron Murray and Georgia, who went to the SEC title game that year. They like 8 sacks, kicked their ass. But this, I think, is a different Boise team. It's unfortunate all those teams that went undefeated couldn't get the chance. This is the one who gets there. Unbelievable running back, once-in-a-generation running back. I just don't think they have the pieces with the wide receivers and the quarterback, though, to get it done.
Well, yeah, even before that, it's been a minute since I watched the game, although I have watched it like probably 8-10 times in my life. No hyperbole. The Oklahoma game, the Fiesta Bowl. People think that it was a miracle. They have this in their brains that it was a miraculous final couple of plays that they had, the trick plays. That's how they beat them. Go back and watch the game. If memory serves, they dominated Oklahoma in the trenches.
Yeah, Peterson didn't do much, yeah.
And it was actually, it should have been a blowout, and Oklahoma was fortunate to actually get back in the game and take the lead.
There was a pick 6 by Zabransky.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I thought it was pure domination by Boise State, and then it came down to Chris Peterson. Oh, my God, he's the best coach I've ever seen.
Right.
Coming up with those plays.
That team went undefeated. Fiesta Bowl, beat TCU and Andy Dalton, undefeated. Also, the team was 2
People
losses.
loved TCU in that game, by the way.
Also beat Arizona, who was a top 10 team in the Fiesta Bowl. They are awesome in this spot. They have been. And I hope they deliver tonight. And there's no bigger juice and edge of your seat than if he can house one early. And I'm going to run around the house if that happens.
Yeah, that would be electrifying if he could actually manage that. Okay, so more on that coming up with Brent and more on the other games that we have today as well here in a few minutes. So based on what we watched last night, the final Monday night game of the year, looking ahead to the Sunday night game now this week between the Lions and the Vikings, and everything is on the line here. Division 1 seed, you all know that, right? That total during the game was 52.5. That peaked last night at 58.5 at the biggest offshore book in the world. And now it has since come down a little bit to either 50, things are moving here, but 56, 56.5, or 57. How are they going to get stops?
Good luck to you. I love this team. I love the head coach. I loved watching that last night. This team is so gutsy, but I just don't see how they can do it.
No, neither do I.
They can't be a 3-point favorite. So as I tweeted, take Niners in play. The Lions can't stop them, and they couldn't. Purdy made 2 egregious mistakes with the interceptions, and then Moody had one of the worst, maybe the worst performance from a kicker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Missing 2 field goals.
Will either one of those guys be on the Niners next year? Moody or Purdy?
I would say highly unlikely. I don't know. I can't believe Moody's going to kick Sunday. Purdy's out. But you can't overcome this. Now, number 1, they need the 1 seed. You can get guys back if you make the NFC title game and the Super Bowl. You must play a perfect game on offense to win. Or Joseph has to be Superman.
Pretty much.
Someone has to make a mistake. And it's the right scenario for the total because they're going to be so damn aggressive and go for it nonstop on 4th down as they should. So you have a genius play caller. I can't get enough of the hook and ladder. I can't get enough of the creativity. The Bears, do the right thing. Give them the check. Say whatever you want. Just end this right now. Johnson's your guy.
It won't work anyway.
It's a genius.
But it won't work there.
Okay, but I love this team so much, and I hate the NFL that this is the biggest game in regular season history, and if you lose, you're the 5 seed.
It's awful.
And you have to play a road game, and this probably can't be the NFC title game, and they're probably going to have to meet in the second round.
It's so dumb.
14-3 against 15-2. Fix this.
They have to.
Just because you win a division, you don't get a home game. That's nonsense.
Yeah, so I'm telling you right now, this might be the catalyst for the NFL fixing it. They can no longer. It's got to be the NBA. You got to go by record to see this stuff. You cannot go by division winners. It's absurd. Nobody would agree with this. In fact, people like on Tampa would probably say the same exact thing. Because when it comes around and Tampa wins 14 games next time, and if they can't win their division, they're going to say the same exact thing. So it goes. I've said this on the air before, and I will say it again. Without the injuries, we are watching one of the best teams in the history of the NFL. I'm convinced.
Yeah,
I'm convinced. That's how good the lines are.
Yeah, look at the scores. Had one off game against Tampa. Goff had one bad game. That was it.
The offense, it was the perfect. This was the year for them. Johnson was back as the OC. I totally agree. The guy's a mastermind. They had Goff playing at an elite level in 14 games inside this year, behind the best offensive line in football, dynamic backs. How good is Gibbs?
Yep.
How good is Gibbs? Top 3 in the league? Top 5 in the league?
How was his prop 25.5 receiving?
And they just have phenomenal receivers with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Laporta. You know the whole deal, right?
Yep.
They were going to be a machine on offense, which they have been. And then the defense, just how do you overcome 16 injuries? If they can somehow go to the Super Bowl, it's going to be one of the best stories that you can ever remember. Mm-hmm. And Campbell and Johnson are just going to do A-plus jobs.
Yep.
They have to.
You have to take the 3 Sunday night. Have to. Because the Vikings have a nasty defense. You have to play perfect football offensively if you're Detroit. And it's not impossible, but, again, you got to get the 1 seed. Because then you're going to have to do it 3 games.
How are they going to slow down the Vikings and limit them to, below 20 points?
The guys are wide open.
How?
It's the 49ers. They're going to be 6-11.
Yeah.
No, Pearsall, come on. His prop was 25.5. They couldn't stop Pearsall. Kittle's wide open. Jennings, take away something. They couldn't do it.
Can't do it.
Just Purdy had to make two bad mistakes.
It's not going to change in the next 5 days.
No. Take VSiN with you wherever you go. Watch the VSiN Watch app. Never been easier to stay connected. Whether you're on the phone, tablet, or the smart TV. Absolutely free for a limited time. 24/7 live access to the audio and video streams. Replays of your favorite shows. Ability to stream directly to your smart TV for the big screen experience. Quick access to clips by sport. Search feature. Lets you find exactly the insights you're looking for. Don't miss out. Get the VSiN Watch app. Stay in the game wherever you are.
All right, it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the sports betting network, loaded to the gills over the next 3 hours like we talked about. Up next, we'll go down that path of bowl games that we have today and tomorrow. As the Godfather, Brent Musburger is going to join the program. You know that he is responsible for coining the phrase March Madness. Maybe a lot of people didn't know that, but he is. We'll discuss Jansanity, the promotion here at VSiN. 169 contestants win a perfect 4-0 in the first round. Who does Brent like between Penn State and Boise in a couple of hours? We'll ask him next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Happy New Year's Eve. We are live on the air until 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. This is an absolute pleasure as the Godfather, Brent Musburger, joins the program now, and he is on the progressive guest line. Happy New Year's, Mr. Godfather. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, Mitch. Happy New Year to you and Pauly. Great time of year, of course. Wonderful parties, and then all the football and maybe we can get a little Jansanity here and tomorrow, I mean, we got plenty of madness in March, you know what I mean, Mitch?
Yeah. Well, okay, so you are responsible for coining the phrase March Madness, and now with the promotion here at VSiN, Jansanity, how long do you think it's going to take for Jansanity to turn into something maybe as big as March Madness?
Well, first of all, we got to have some games that aren't blowouts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first round was like, excuse me, what just happened? But I must say about the first round, I dearly loved seeing the on-campus games. I just
Amen.
thought the Friday night in South Bend, I thought was spectacular. The snow in Happy Valley, all the Tennessee fans bundled up in Columbus. I must say, I love it. Now, however they seed them, and make them going forward, we shall see. You can argue whether the top 4 conference champions should draw buys. I think that's where you first go when you decide who's going to play in that first round.
Totally agree. Okay,
Yep.
So Exhibit A would be Boise as the 3 seed, playing in a couple of hours in Phoenix in the Fiesta Bowl, catching a huge number against Penn State. They were awesome against SMU at home in the first round. Who do you like here in this game, Brent?
Bet against Boise State in a Fiesta Bowl. Be very, very careful. Okay, now, the public, I was just checking my DraftKings stats over here. 69% of the public on the money line are going Penn State's way, okay, as you would expect. However, when you look at the spread, and they've got it at 12 points, 56% are going Boise State's way, okay? And I say, why not take the points, okay? We got to have a dog show up. And listen, I love the running back. Jenny doesn't get hurt. He's going to be a star in the National Football League. He's one of the best running backs that I've watched in a long time, and he is absolutely perfect for the National Football League. We watched Gibbs last night, okay? And hats off to Campbell. Hats off, okay? He went out like a man, said he was going to do it. He went the distance. Game didn't mean anything. How about the hook and lateral? I've heard Pauly talk about the great calls that the Lions come up with. How about that lateral and down the sideline he goes? I'm in a first to score league, and I got the first pick Sunday night. There ain't any other choice besides Gibbs. Okay, but back to tonight. I'm going to go with Boise State and the points because, like I said, be careful. Be careful if you bet against Boise State in a Fiesta Bowl. They've had some wonderful games, and they're 3-0 over there.
That's right. You're all over it. And I think Genty would look great in a Cowboy uniform as well. 169 people went 4-0 in the first round. Get your picks in by 4 o'clock as well. How about the early game tomorrow? Another huge spread. Can Arizona State hang in there, get the running game going against Texas, or will Texas dominate up front?
You know, Pauly, Arizona State's the big Cinderella of the tournament, but you know, I don't know how all of these players moving around, okay, during this period. You know, it doesn't happen during the basketball tournament, but during a football tournament, you know, that transfer portal is open. And honestly, if Sarkisian runs the ball, everybody who follows Texas closer than I do say he's got to just run the football and nobody can stick with him. So I think I would give the points with the Longhorns. I just think they're a more powerful team going forward over there in the Peach Bowl. So I like Texas.
Okay. Little bulletin board material, too. Scatterboo, no one can stop me. Yeah. He says as well. Okay, the granddaddy of them all. Undefeated. Number one seed, already beat Ohio State Dogs. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to side with the public. I'm going the Ducks way. You know, I know it came down to the last few seconds, and I know the Ohio State quarterback ran the clock out and then slid, and it was game, set, and match. But the public is all over Oregon. Both the money line at DraftKings as well as the spread. They're on Oregon's side. Not by a lot, okay? But I'm going to side with the public. I'm going to go with Oregon and the granddaddy of them all. What a great game. Hey, Pauly, I'm so looking forward to that.
I think here my best bet, Brent, would be over 55 in this game.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we saw both offenses kind of go up and down the field the first time they played. We're going to have great conditions at the Rose Bowl. I think 55 is too short for the total here. I
could not agree with you more. I don't venture into the over. I'm not as smart as you are, Mitch, so I don't go over. I have enough trouble with the sides. But in this instance, I absolutely that looks like a 60-something to me. Both teams could hit the 30, and it's going to be a great football game.
Okay, and then what about the Sugar Bowl? By the way, what's you called many Sugar Bowls in your life. What's the latest bowl game that you ever called that you can remember? This thing probably will kick off at about 6 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's about it. It usually kicks off late. You know, first of all, under the contract with ESPN, and I'm sure it's the same, you have to show live the presentation of the trophy at the Rose Bowl. That's always been in the contract. So that can hold the kickoff up in New Orleans.
What a fiasco. That was embarrassing what happened last year. Because it was Texas and Washington. It got over at 1 o'clock on the East Coast.
I know.
It's a playoff game.
I know.
But let's all admit, come on.
That's why if you're a football fan or a bettor, Mitch and Pauly, that's why you moved to the Pacific time zone.
No kidding. Great point. But I will say, come on, guys, it is the prettiest sunset in the world, right?
We'll start it at 1 o'clock, not 2. We can move the kickoff up an hour. You don't have to go at 2.
All right.
That's because they've got those earlier games now, and one of them's part of the tournament. So it's not going to change.
Right. So who do you like here between the Fighting Irish and the Bulldogs?
You know, I like the Irish going into the tournament, but I honestly don't like the fact that they lost that defensive lineman, okay?
Yeah.
I think that could be a factor. Now, if you want to side against Georgia, you say, the backup quarterback hasn't proven anything. He's had some practice, so I'll go against him. When I watched him when he came in and replaced Beck, I thought, it was just okay. I didn't think it was anything special. I'm not a big Beck fan, so I think I'm going to stick with the Irish.
Okay. You're not a big Beck fan. Neither am I. Are you a fan of any of these quarterbacks that are coming out this year?
No. I think the Minnesota Vikings offer a lesson to us all. Look around the league at guys who've had a few years. Sam Darnold, one of the great stories this year in the NFL.
Yep. What do you think they do? He's a free agent. They just drafted
They
McCarthy.
have to sign him.
Yeah?
They have to sign him.
They have to sign him? Oh.
If I was the Raiders, I'd call him and say, I'll give you a 3 for McCarthy. And if he winds up our starter for 8 games, we'll give you a 2. I'd see if I could trade for McCarthy. That's where I'd go.
Oh, okay. So you'd rather offer something like that because at this point, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think Ward or Sanders will be there when the Raiders are picking unless one of them slides. So
they won't be there. No.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be there.
They won't be there.
So
They'll be gone.
Don't trade up to take one of those guys because it's going to be too much you're going to have to give up then.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to trade up because it's not like you're trading up for Jaden Daniels. They're not of that caliber.
Yeah. All right. That's the first I've heard of that, Pauly.
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Godfather. That was great. Love talking to you.
All right, lads.
Happy New Year. Stay warm in Montana, okay?
Absolutely. Will do. Happy New Year again, gang. Pick some winners in 25. Mitch and Pauly now. Prime time afternoon on VSiN, the sports betting network.
There you go. Excellent. Beautiful. There you go. He's the best. Brent Musburger. We'll try to pick winners. Hopefully we can.
Still got his fastball. What a legend.
All right. So he's going to go Boise plus the points.
Mm-hmm.
He's not buying into Arizona State. He's going to lay it with Texas. And then he's on the other 2 dogs with Oregon. And then Notre Dame now plus the 1. Fighting Irish taking some money here.
Mitch, hot take. Maybe the SEC isn't that good. Tennessee blown out. Alabama lost, 17-point favorite. South Carolina losing, although they have people out.
Yeah. LSU looking good right now.
Okay.
Playing against Baylor.
Baylor went from +3 to 3.5.
Wow. Well,
down
these
21-7.
line moves in college football.
Yeah. Good tweet, Chris Vanini. Indiana beat Michigan. Indiana played Ohio State closer than Tennessee. Such a good conference when it comes to hypotheticals. So much talent. Odds makers. Oh, well, got to have an odds maker on the committee. Ooh, tough one. Where's Kiffin? Where's Feinbaum?
Yep.
No tweets today.
Here's the funny thing, right? They can't wait to shout it from the mountaintops and say, SMU never belonged, right? All these teams that got in. What are we doing here? Indiana sucked. You can't have these teams in. We need teams from the SEC. Not a peep. You will not hear a single peep because you know what they're going to say? They're playing in the Rosetta Stone Bowl or whatever it is. It doesn't matter to them.
Yes.
There's always an excuse.
I know. Talking to a third grader.
It doesn't matter.
We didn't care.
They got the never-ending string of comebacks lined up and ready to go.
We weren't motivated. Okay. Well, you lost 4 times. Apparently, it's a coaching problem.
Yeah, that mattered more than anything. We'll expand on Boise, Penn State coming up next. 3 games in action. We'll discuss the live numbers here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We do have 3 bowl games in action right now. We'll go in chronological order. About 4:40 to play, third quarter. It looks like Louisville just scored. They have taken a 28-21 lead over Washington. The Cardinals just moved to 5.5-point favorites, total of 65.5 in the game at DraftKings. Washington closes the favorite, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they took money in the game.
ACC 0-10 ATS.
Uh-huh. Another game is going on between the Big Ten and the SEC. This one is coming up on halftime. Looks like 3 seconds left before the half. Illinois clinging to a 7-3 lead. In play, South Carolina, 3.5-point favorites. Total is 35.5. Do we have a bet here to make on this game? Let's check the box score here, Pauly.
Yeah, 35.5 seems high. 36.5.
That seems
total
awfully high. South Carolina is outgaining Illinois 152-141. And Illinois has actually lost a fumble in this game. South Carolina has no turnovers. 3.5 too many points here?
Yeah, I'm with you.
They got to score twice?
We can get creative, too. Don't forget about team totals. How good was that bet earlier today? Michigan's second-half team total, which was 7 in some spots. I mean, come on. You saw it last night. How were the Niners 10.5 second half?
Yeah.
Going up and down the field. So that's something to look at halftime, too. And I think they just took it off the board. Yeah. So now they wiped the touchdown off the board, but still first and goal for LSU, up 21-7 against Baylor. Baylor +3 to -3.5 in the game. LSU 14.5 in play, 73.5 the total.
Okay, so is that too low? And I'm asking here, assuming they score a touchdown to make it 28-7, that's going to put it on 35 with, my God, 8:51 to play in the second quarter.
We're doing New Year's betting resolutions coming up. Can't wait to hear from everyone. But this is I haven't seen the game, so
yeah, I know. I'm not really watching
I can't
that
get
much
involved
either.
in play unless I'm watching it. I'm not going to go in blind.
Let's check the box score here.
Yep.
LSU has 208 yards of offense so far, 176 passing, and Baylor has thrown one INT. Let's see. Nussmeier is 14 of 16 for $176 and 2 touchdowns. Now, here's the thing. Brian Kelly is not afraid to run it up if he can.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a touchdown. So let's see where this total goes now. That's where I want to look. Unless Baylor just is a total dead team and they don't really care and they just wave the white flag. But I can see if Nussmeier plays the entire game, which seems kind of unlikely, but I feel like Brian Kelly was going, okay, we can score 70 today. We'll score 70 in a bowl game.
Well, I'd rather lay the 17.5. If Baylor's having issues moving it and LSU's going up and down the field.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
It's 15.5 at DraftKings.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm at Caesars and Will Hill. Okay.
All right.
Good. What do you think? You asked me. What do you think tonight? You got to be jacked up because you you fell in love with this program in the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma.
Oh, it's the best ending I've ever seen to any game in my life.
They went.
Chris Peterson will always have a piece of my heart for that.
Amen, brother. And that's when the discussion started. Let the little guy get a shot here because they went undefeated and beat Oklahoma. They went hook and ladder. They went fourth down touchdown pass with the running back, and then proposed to his girlfriend after the game.
Yep.
And then they did the Statue of Liberty to win it. So like in a 15-minute span.
It's been what, 17, 18 years? I have goosebumps right now thinking about that as you're talking. That's how good it was.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you get with Penn State in the team total?
It's 31.5.
I'm going to have to bet that. Will Boise have a solution unless Aller loses his mind out there and is a total disaster in this game? Are they going to be able to slow down this Penn State offense? I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
I want to see Boise get the lead and Franklin get tight. That's what I want to see. And then you chew the clock. Come on, Cutter. Don't lose your mind again. You shorten the game, give him 35 carries, and then put Madsen in third manageable and use the big tight end with Louder, who's a beast. So that's how you do it.
Oh.
And then you make them come from behind, shorten the game, and your corners did a great job against UNLV in both matchups. You contained White, and we'll see if they can contain the Penn State passing game as well. But that's how you do it. And I'll tell you, Aller was terrible in the SMU game.
I totally agree.
He did not play well. So all this talk, I was watching a different game than a lot. I was talking to Nish and other guys who are Penn State homers, and it's just, I thought SMU was moving the ball, no problem, until Jennings lost his mind and pulled the mill roll.
I will say that if Boise State is in a similar situation today, and it doesn't go like it did with Jennings, Penn State's going to be in trouble in the third quarter. And I say that because, no, you're spot on. The accurate assessment of that game is the following. SMU was the better team for about the first quarter and a half. Mm-hmm. And then it just, it got completely out of control, and Jennings continued to be absolutely awful, and Penn State did not do anything other than to pick 6 returns. They did nothing on offense in that game. So if that can somehow work to Boise State's favor, Ben Franklin's going to get super tight. But with Genty now, again, 2 straight, this is to close the season here. He finished with 2 consecutive 200-plus yard games on the ground. He has 2,497 on the year. He had 25. Let's compare them to the best team that they played this year, and I mean Penn State to Oregon. He had 25 for $192 against Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
So what does that mean, and how does that compare to Penn State? Penn State's offense in the Big Ten title game averaged 8.7 yards per carry against the Ducks' defense. Penn State's defense is number 12 in the country. They allowed 3.11 yards per carry. I think the Penn State defense is going to be, probably play out here that it's much better than the Oregon defense is. And also, Boise State played the 86th ranked schedule in the country per Jeff Sagarin. Penn State's top 5. Mm-hmm. And how do they slow down the Penn State backs, and do they have an answer at all for tight end Tyler Warren?
Maybe you go Allen over and Singleton as well. Allen's 56.5, Singleton 76.5.
I don't hate that.
But to me, the Genty, he's going to break one. He breaks one every game. And you also have the record. He needs 132 to break the record. And he's 126.5 here, and he's 129.5 at Caesars and Will Hill. He's got to get 30 carries. And then even if they're losing, you can't abandon the run in the second half. Cutter's got to stick with it. And the fact that it's like everyone's watching, the guy can break Barry Sanders' record. And what a way to go out. He's got 2,500 yards.
Oh.
That's got to be the game plan. Pound him.
Is this the game to bet the no touchdown from Genty?
Well, you're right. It's a big price. I wrote it down. Is he 360?
He's in that neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
too
high.
You can grab a nice plus price on him not to score a touchdown. What if it goes completely sideways and Penn State kills him? And what you said just now gets thrown out the window, and they have to say, we got to throw every single down to get back into this game.
I still think you don't do that, though. He's a home run hitter. I mean, you could just give him, 3rd and 10. He can run a draw. He could house it. Just look at the UNLV game.
Yeah, I'm saying all bets might be off if it's 21-0 at halftime.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do. I don't think Cutter and Danielson will do it that way, though. He's like plus 160 to score twice. I'm with you.
Ooh,
I'm with you. This is the game to bet the no. And he wouldn't have, UNLV probably would have held him out of the end zone unless he housed the one right before halftime.
Right.
Or at least if they ran him down inside the 10, which, remember, that Boise guy made an incredible play to run the guy down, and then they got the stop as well. So, listen, UNLV was a hell of a team. They outplayed Oregon on the road. Brent's right. Pat Forty's right about the history here. It's just like every time we see this, they win the game. Big dogs against Oklahoma, won the game. Dogs against undefeated TCU, won the game. Two dogs to top 10 Arizona, won the game.
I wonder what the crowd's going to look like. It is a much easier spot to travel to for Boise fans.
Sure, and Penn State fans are probably thinking, save your money.
Again,
we'll go to the next
here,
game
right?
and the next game.
Boise fans might be thinking the exact opposite. Like, we don't know how many games we have left. This might be it. Phoenix is a pretty easy spot for us to get to on the West Coast. And they, by the way, they travel exceedingly well anyway. They're great. It's kind of like Gonzaga basketball. They take over arenas. Well, this team can take over a stadium with their fan base.
Yeah.
And Penn State might be thinking, well, we had a game last week at home. That was awesome. We think we're going to win this game as 11.5-point favorites. Save our money. We can go to the games beyond this. And maybe there's a chance here where it's, I don't know, 65-35 Boise State fans.
Yeah, no doubt. I also think Boise can move it, too. 39 points per game. Good quarterback, great tight end, and Barry Sanders in the backfield. Mm-hmm. I think they can get theirs. And you saw what Oregon did. Penn State had a lot of close calls this year. I mean, USC was up 14 on them. Minnesota should have beat them.
I know.
Bowling Green lost by 7 on the road in Happy Valley.
Yeah, I mean, to use the USC game as an example, is USC better than Boise State?
No. God, no. And USC went up and down the field.
Yeah, Penn State couldn't stop them.
No, it's up to 12.5 now. It's 12.5 now on Penn State.
Well, okay, 3 hours before kickoff. I guess if you want Boise, then just keep holding out.
Yep. In sports betting and trading, understanding probability, the ultimate game changer. Unlock the secrets of high probability trading with top Bubba Horwitz, former floor trader and seasoned sports bettor with over 45 years of experience. Visit BubbaTrading.com/VSiN, promo code VSiN500 to save $500. Don't miss your chance to sharpen your strategy and gain the edge in your trading game. BubbaTrading.com/VSiN, promo code VSiN500.
You have to wonder about some of these guys playing at quarterback. I said this earlier on. Does Milroe even get drafted? Will a team take, if they do, it's a flyer, 5th, 6th, 7th round on him? Brent brought up he's not a big fan of Carson Beck. Why would Carson Beck get drafted at this point?
That'd have to be late.
That's the only possibility.
Yeah, come on.
Taking a flyer, maybe, somehow the Hail Mary comes in.
You have a great tidbit coming up about Sanders and Ward.
Yeah. Up next, win some, lose some, details on some of the craziest bets of the year, including an 85-cent all I had left in my account bet and a wild 19-leg college football parlay.
Night? Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Big upset earlier today. Michigan plus 650 on the money line. This year, Alabama lost 3 times as a 14-point favorite or higher. Nick Saban did it 3 times in 139 games. It also didn't look like Alabama had the right cleats on. When it started to rain, they were slip-sliding all over the place. What was going on? West Virginia plus 640 on a money line. 13-point dog beat Kansas in college hoops. Oh, if you had Pearsall props last night. That was a popular play from a lot of people on social media. Well, congrats. Pearsall, first touchdown, 34-1 at Circa. Anytime touchdown, 5-1. Most receiving yards in the game, 22-1. Most receptions in the game, dead heat, 90-1. Are you serious?
Yeah. Our buddy Weston had him every which way but loose last night. He made, I think, 28 bets on Pearsall. He cashed 27 of them. The only one that did not cash, 2 touchdowns in the game.
Wow.
He had first touchdown. He had anytime touchdown. He had everything in the game last night.
22-1 most receiving.
It was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
That horrible defense.
Yeah.
And I guess Shanahan's like, we're not going to go down without a fight here. And the whole kitchen sink's going to get thrown at Detroit tonight.
How about this one? This was popular. A lot of people had this. Will each team have a touchdown and a field goal in both halves? 100-1. Oh, yeah. The Dobbs touchdown, running it in, got there.
Wow.
Purdy anytime, 5-1. Juszczyk anytime, 10-1. Goff, 300 yards plus 260. Purdy plus 245. Goff, 3 touchdowns plus 340. Purdy, 5-1. Gibbs, 110 plus rushing yards here at Circa, plus 170. All total over 57.5 plus 230. St. Brown and Debo to score, 4-1. 2-point conversion plus 280. Missed extra point plus 260. Lions, 2.5 up to 4.
How many same-game parlays cashed in that game last night?
Well, one individual had a $80 11-leg same-game parlay, paid $20,000. Williams anytime. St. Brown anytime. Gibbs anytime. Pearsall, Kittle, Williams over receiving, and Laporta. Debo, Gibbs rushing over. Goff, Purdy over 1.5 touchdowns. Yeah, easy, no problem. Of course it'll come.
It's that simple to do. Yep.
And then we had a guest on who covered the Lions. He said they're going to give the ball to Williams on a couple end routes. He was right, but he had the 5-yard loss, though. The prop was 1.5.
Oh, so we stayed under?
Yeah, because he lost 5 yards on the first one. Good call, though. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Mitch, look at this. Biggest stick you're ever going to see.
Oh, I sent this one in.
Did you send it in?
Yeah.
Okay, the dog comes out of the lake. He comes up, climbs up the rocks, and he's got the biggest stick I've ever seen.
It's a redwood.
And he's got it, and the owner's just like, what are you doing? Where are you going with it? It's got my new toy. Here we go. Yeah, I got it. No problem.
I think he found an underwater forest here. He's got the whole thing with him in his mouth.
It's 2 Wembenyamas put together.
Side bigger than the sidewalk.
Look at that. He's still got it, though. There he goes, jumping up and down. He's got it.
Yeah, why not?
Piece of cake.
A twig.
And he jumps up and he takes it into the grass in the park. All-time good. All-time good. Good job, man. Lose some. Roll Tide. What? Bleep you. 11 up to 17. And again, losses. Some people said that I thought it was 17 against Vandy, but some people said it was 22. In any event, 4 losses without Saban. Look at this, lose some with the dog. Again, he's drinking the water. Then they got the bone at the bottom of the bowl, and he's trying to get and eat the bone in the water bowl. He doesn't realize that it's not real. It's just it's painted on. It's not a real bone, and he's still looking at it. Yeah, I put my face in there. I'm trying to eat it. You can't do it. Can't do it.
See, that would be awesome for me to do it like once. I have to stop teasing the dog at that point.
Okay, this is an all-timer. All-timer, Mitch. Top 10 video in the history of the show. The boxer got in the cabinet. How did he get... What is he doing? How did he get in there? It's the side cabinet below the kitchen counter. And it's a big dog. And the owner, thank God the volume's off, just like, what the bleep are you doing? How did he get in there? And he can't... I don't know if he can get out. He's got that... Look at that.
Oh, so this is the only part of the video. They're like they don't actually show him there's not a hole in the cabinet or anything.
No,
okay.
This is all it is. It's like the owner comes in with the other dog and he looks. He goes, "My God, the boxer is inside the cabinet drawer."
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how he got in there. That's impossible, right? Want to become a sharper, better this holiday season? VSiN, the ultimate gift for you, or the sports better in your life. The final week to take advantage of our holiday special. Get VSiN Pro access to everything we offer through May 1st, just $79. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, the betting guides, VSiN.com/subscribe. So, Lions win and cover. Favorites went 15-1 straight up and 13-3 ATS. David Purdom, ESPN Chalk. NFL betting favorites have won 183 games outright, 5 shy of the all-time mark in 2005. The favored team has won 72%. It's the second highest since 1978. Overall, in December, favorites are 56-17 straight up, 77%. Second highest for a month in the last 50 seasons. A lot of bookmakers can't wait for the season to end. John Murray, vice president at the Westgate Superbook. Maybe a dog can win a game. That would be cool, quote. Thank God they got the Colts at least. That was your big boy.
I know plenty of big-time bettors who had bad years this year in the NFL based on this.
Yeah.
They I lean towards looking at dogs every single week in the NFL. Like I had no chance this year in contests.
Yeah. Craig Mucklow, Caesars, vice president of trading. The biggest decisions all went the way of the customers. Chargers, Bengals. The big parlay buster was the Giants. That was a difference between a historic day for the customers and a huge sigh of relief for the books. Some of the traders have said it's the worst NFL season since 2017.
Very good for the public.
Yeah.
Awesome for the public.
Yep.
They have cleaned house.
Yep. Here was your tease. David Purdom, ESPN Chalk, 2 unbelievable stories. That's story number 1. Give him a follow on Twitter. He's been on the show many times. The other one, an epic, running through all the crazy bets of the year, an epic 85-cent all-in parlay. It was the morning after the Super Bowl, 7 a.m., Monday, February 12th. A 26-year-old construction worker and longtime sports bettor had 85 cents left in his FanDuel account. He went in on a 14-leg multi-sport parlay, 173,000 to 1 odds, that wouldn't be decided until January of 2025. And he ended up cashing out, selling the ticket. A bettor bought it, and it paid out $147,000.
I think the only ticket, or the only bet that has to come in right is Ohio State to win the national title.
Yes.
Is that bet?
Yeah. 19-leg college football parlay on the final week of the season. Also came down to a 2-point conversion in December. A bettor in Kentucky placed one of the largest bets ever reported on an NFL regular season game. There's so many good things here. A two-bet parlay, a $5 2-leg parlay, Walker Kessler and Finney Smith. The first basket and the manner in which they would do it. 22,000 to 1. Paid $113,000.
On how much?
$2. Was it $2 bet? $5 bet. Because it was the exact method. That they had to score the first basket, and you had to get the method right.
So like Kessler by dunk, Finney Smith by
like
3
that.
or whatever, yeah.
Finney Smith had a one-handed floater, and Kessler had a 3-foot jump hook. $113,000. Oh. Crazy how good this story is. They also have the legs of what that guy hit as well. Sean Tucker, reserve running back for the Buccaneers. 2 touchdowns against the Saints October 13th. 300 to 1. Biggest long shot to hit at ESPN Bet, a 19-leg college football parlay, came down to a 2-point conversion. It was $2.47 to win over $500,000.
Oh, my God.
It was 18 favorites and 1 huge dog, Michigan against Ohio State. It ended with BYU against Houston. Houston pushed. They didn't get the 2-point try. So he won $280,000.
Oh.
I mean, this story is incredible with everything and the crazy bets. Well done, Mr. Purdom.
You know, on the 2-touchdown bet thing, most books in Las Vegas generally do not even offer guys that would be higher than 100 to 1. So you tell me Sean Tucker that day was available because if I recall, Rachaad White, I think, was going to miss that game. And he was going to maybe get some time there. Or maybe White went out of the game right away. And it was all Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker in that spot. 300 to 1. You can find live during games, you can find massive prices on players to score an anytime touchdown. Mm-hmm. So watch for that when you think there's going to be an injury or you saw something with a guy leaving the game.
Is FanDuel?
For example, last night, what do you think
Dobbs
was a score anytime touchdown after Purdy got hurt?
Yeah.
A massive number right away.
That's right. Absolutely. Is FanDuel the only place that offers exact method?
I believe so, yes.
Those are monster payouts.
Oh, they should be.
Because it's not like who's going to score the first basket. Is it free throw? Is it three-pointer? Is it jump shot, 2-point shot? Is it dunk? You're right. Is it dunk? That's listed. All of it. That's how you got.
Every player's going to have huge odds.
That's right. That's how you got to look at it.
Yeah. Professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the show coming up next. We'll get his best bets with analysis on the bowl games that we have this week coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.